Jean-Pierre from the Royal St.Lucian Seamoss Company, and let's talk about Seamoss. Um, actually, just realized I forgot to put some background music because you know how I like my background music. So get some tunes, and then let me get on Clubhouse because I set up an event on there. Clubhouse. Start the room. So one's on there. And then someone's already chatted? Hey Carla, welcome. Thank you for joining. And let me get into let me just turn this volume down. Hey guys, hey, give me a second. I just want to put a link in the group so that if you guys want to join in on this as a guest, you guys can join in and be a part of the conversation. But also let me know if you have any questions that you'd like to get answered or you'd like to ask. Oh, coming in from Indiana. Nice. If you guys want to show your name so I can see who you are, there's a link there, right there, the chat.restream.io/Facebook. That will set it up so that so I can see your names and stuff. So give me 1 second. I'm going to mute myself while I just jump on the screens and then embed the guest link. There's a link here so that you guys can join in and be like a live guest. I find it way better and much more interactive to do it that way. So give me 1 second. Hold on.
Each, neutral, like what does each color do, if that makes sense? Like I know like the purple one is high in antioxidants. I know the green one has, chlorophyll, but like what does, it do individually?
Honestly, it's hard to say because I haven't done a lot of tests to know. My experience from taking the green is that it's like, in comparison to the other ones, is that the green is definitely like a detoxifier. It just totally cleans me out, and I feel like I'm always expelling a lot with it. The purple I find is like the gold, but it's more like stronger, intense, and I feel it's a little hard on my body. Like I tend to take it for a while or for a little bit, but I never take it for like a long time. It's for some reason, after a while, my body is just like, yeah, you had enough,
Yeah. Okay. So, and then another question I had was, what's the best way to take sea moss? Because I know I've seen one of your videos on Instagram where you put them in the pouches and you freeze them, which I think is a good idea. But like, what do you feel like is the best way to take them where you're gonna feel the most potency? Is it the capsules, taking it in a raw form? or just mixing it in your drinks?
That's a good question. It's hard to say because I haven't tried all the different methods, but I would think that the capsules would probably be one of the best for eating it raw, because then you're eating it like it's more dense, and it's like a piece of sea moss is going to be like more concentrated as that piece that you eat it than it would be if you let rehydrated it, put it into a gel format, and then took that gel. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of times people are taking, like, how much do you take when you take the Seamoss?
Like, I take 2 to 3 spoonfuls a day, like tablespoons a day. And I've been recently I've been using the full spectrum Seamoss I got from you guys, and usually I'll use gold and I'll see results like after like the 5th day. But I started seeing results after the 3rd day. So I guess the full spectrum Seamoss works a lot better than, the regular gold.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, because of the way it's been dried and sort of processed. It's gonna have more nutrients in it, or stronger concentration. I wouldn't say more, but stronger concentration. Because when you bleach it, you're essentially blanching the sea moss, right? And so you're what? Hold on one second. Oh, sorry. That's okay. Sorry, guys. My cousin just, like, I'm at the warehouse and he left the warehouse and now he's back. So I was like surprised to see him there. So he's kind of explaining me what he's there. So getting back to it. No problem. So as I was saying, when you're bleaching it, you're basically kind of cooking it, and you sweat a lot of the liquids out of it, right? And so that kind of makes it a little bit less potent than it would be if you had dried it. Like when they make the full spectrum and the purple and the other colors, they dry it in the dark, right? Or in without, they don't blanch it, basically. They don't put it in a plastic bag and bleach it in the sun. So I believe, from my experience looking at it, that the color, the nutrients that are in the sea moss are um, more potent in the full spectrum, the purple and say the green. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Because this has just been a really great experience. Because ever since I started taking this full spectrum, I've started to know, like, I promote it out there, and I have a lot of people, a lot of my peers, who seem to be interested in it, and I'm trying to get y'all want to gain experience, with Seamoss and everything. That's why I'm going to continue to use it. I'm going to continue, to gain experience with it on my own. But I want to be able to tell people about it efficiently. So that's why I came on here to ask you, because you're the Seamoss monk. So I wanted to gain, I wanted to see, what you may have known, or if you can help me out with anything in terms of, like, anything you've learned throughout the years of using Seamoss. Because I know, I look on your Instagram page and I see you from St. Lucia, or you've been to St. Lucia. You've been in the actual waters, actually taking Seamoss. Like, I've never seen any wholesale supplier who actually put themselves out there to the point where you're actually, like, you've been in the waters of St. Lucia. You've been taking Seamoss from, straight from the ocean. Not a lot of wholesalers can say that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to you, you have firsthand experience in this in general. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like you're the best in the game in this, man.
Oh, thank you. And guys, I just want to say, I have not met this guy beforehand. I've not paid him to say any of this stuff. Although I now that I think about it, I should have someone like you just come in the room and be like, Julien, you're the best. And I like, because that intro that you did when you first came in, I wish I was recording it.
Well, it's on Facebook, so you can just say it live.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, I've done every aspect of the Seamoss. I've been very blessed in that, and I don't know too many people that have, like, right down from the, making the ropes and stuff like that, to sticking the ropes in the water, to going out on the boat, to hauling the stuff in, to driving, drying it, everything, Hold on one second. Did you want to ask me anything? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. No problem. Thanks. Sorry, that was my cousin. One of the things that we do with St. Lucia is I donate a lot of foods and stuff. We send them down in barrels. So he was just telling me now about how he has some lentils and some, what is it? Lentils, peas, and yeah, chickpeas and barley.
That's crazy. You see, where you donate them to?
So yeah, cool, Roger. So I don't. We send them down there, and my partner receives them, and he donates them to whoever he knows that's needy. But we do a lot of donations to an orphanage down there, and also we help out a lot of like certain farmers and stuff like that, or people in his community that he knows are, I don't want to say suffering, but aren't doing as well. You know. And so
Right.
he'll do whatever he can to help them out where he can. And so, yeah. So I'm always
That's
sending
great.
stuff down. Yeah.
That's great. That's amazing, man.
Thanks.
But I had one last question. For you.
Keep them
So
going.
what tips you may have, for running a great Seamoss business? Because when it comes to this, like I started, my healing journey where I started taking a lot of natural alternative, changing my diet. Because there's no point in me taking Seamoss if I'm not going to make changes to my diet.
Mm-hmm.
So making changes to my diet, going on this health journey of mine. What are some tips you have when it comes to running a Seamoss business, but also getting people to take it as well? Because some people are skeptical, but that's just because it's just lack of information.
True.
But besides that, is when they take it, they start seeing, like, how can I put this? If I gave some friends of mine, some Seamoss before, and what I noticed is they'll be inconsistent in taking, the raw form. So I was thinking about, maybe like doing capsules or gummies or stuff like that. So that way it could give them type of a motivation. So that way they can be consistent and see the benefits. So I was just wondering, do you think that would work? And, any tips you may have, like I said, running the business.
Okay, so to answer the last one about the thing, I do believe that if you had the capsules and stuff like that, more likely they're going to take it because they're not having to worry about the gels and all that stuff. Although some people like the gels and they like to consume it that way. I'm not really a big pill popper guy, and I'll probably more likely be open to mixing the gel into something, because I can see it. Then I'll say this: I wouldn't pop anybody's pill or stuff unless I knew who the person was, how they made it, and I understood what was going on. Because one of the things that I have about capsules is like I'm like, okay, what did they fit with? You know what I mean? Like, it's got some of the medication in it, but is it all medication or is it going to be
right?
You know what I'm saying? So that for me, that's like that. But a lot of people don't care. They'll just pop pills and boom, it's easier and convenient. But so yeah, I do think that is going to be. But see, what I found is that like a lot of people aren't consistent with it, no matter what. There's people that are just like they go in sort of waves. They're on the Seamoss, they're off the Seamoss. There's few that I know that take, even me. Sometimes there's days that I don't go without it. So there's few people that I know that are religious about it, taking it every day. So you're just gonna have to find that, right? And then how to get them, I guess, open to doing it is always trying the samples and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Get people to do the samples. I don't know. I think the one way to get people hooked is it's to get them to try it. I think anybody that tries Seamoss, and if they like the way you're making the Seamoss, they're going to be like excited about that. You know what I mean? Like they'll be into it or be interested in what you're selling. They'll want to buy it.
Right.
Yeah, and then as to answer your question about how to get into this business, I think it's important to understand the market. Like when we started in this business, I probably spent at least a month to maybe a month and a half of me just scouring different websites, Googling, Seamoss businesses, seeing who's on the first page, who's on the second, fifth page, you know what I mean? Kind of like compiling all the different competitors. I figured out like what was, or I would watch their site and ask myself, okay, what is it to me that makes them, want to buy and what not? I would go into a lot of the Facebook groups and stuff, and I would read the comments, even on Instagram. The one thing people miss is the comments, right? The comments is going to tell you the sort of like the vibe of the market, what people are saying. And so through the comments, I was able to learn and understand that one of the biggest triggers or the biggest touch points on whether or not someone buys something or not is trust, right? And so if you notice,
okay,
yeah, and if you notice in my business, everything I do exudes trust. The whole reason why I'm doing this live stream showing my face is trust. You know how to get at me. Anybody that you know what I mean, that like sort of buys from me, if you've written me a letter, I'm like responding within a couple hours, if not right away. You call me, I answer the phone. You message me on Messenger, I'm with. People are amazed. They say to me like, "Do you ever sleep?" You know what I mean? Because I'm constantly. But I need to do that in order to establish the trust, so that people know that if there's a problem, they can get a hold of me. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to spend $2,000, $5,000, $7,000, you know that I'm not disappearing, right? I'm in it. So that to me, I think is vital. The reviews on my site, you know what I mean? We put reviews on there. That's vital. The fact that I have a phone number and a way to contact me and I answer emails, that's all, establishing the trust. Because that was the thing that I understood, was that, people are afraid of getting ripped off. They're afraid of getting scammed,
Exactly.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of, I guess, wolves in sheep's clothing, you know what I mean? So that would be,
that's crazy, because that's the thing. That's what actually made me buy Seamoss from you. Just like you just said, that trust. Open, showing your face, go doing lives on Instagram, doing lives just like this. Just showing, just being as genuine as possible, being as you as possible. That's exactly what caused me to buy Seamoss from you. So I see exactly what you mean, because I'm a product of that.
Yeah, it's thank you. And that's the thing. I keep it real. Like, I am who I am. Like there's, and I mean, there's times where, okay, I understand you have to put a certain professional image and stuff like that. But to me, I would rather you see me who I am for all my faults, and then know what you're dealing with, than to have you watch me and I slip up at some point and then expose who I really am, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that, you know what I mean? Like, that's, when you figure those guys out, like, oh, that guy's full of shit, that guy's a fraud, you know what I mean? And so I always I grew up in that hip hop era where it was like, you always kept it real, you always kept it 100. And so that's why I do what I do, because this is how I am.
Well, man, I appreciate that, man. I just needed to come in here and talk to you for the one time, because I just been so shocked, like, with the Seamoss I've got from you. I had some good expectations, but not the expectations I had for the prices you have, man. Because it's for 8 ounces of Seamoss, I spent, like, I think the cheapest I spent was like $40 for 8 ounces of Seamoss.
Mm-hmm.
So then going on your website and seeing, full spectrum Seamoss for the price you have it now, I was like, ain't no way. Like, I just thought it was gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be all salt. No, but I was looking at the pictures. I was like, let me try it. It doesn't hurt. He was, you genuine on Instagram. I see your face, so it's like, all right, cool. Tried it, and it turned out to be one of the best Seamoss I had, man. So it's crazy. Like, it can't beat those prices for real. So that's why I'm definitely going to be buying a lot more. I'm actually thinking about buying wholesale prices, like a couple pounds, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just really excited for this, man. I appreciate you being on this call and actually hopping on here and educating us, on Seamoss, because there's not a lot of people, who's talking about it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there are people, but I know what you're saying. There's not a lot of people. Like, I've been consistent in the last couple of weeks, where it's like every Sunday and Wednesday I've been doing this, but I love doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. But now I want to open the floor up for somebody else who may also have questions, though.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions they want to ask? Todd or anybody? I know I invited Edward up here, and Winston, JJ, and
I can't speak right now.
All right, no problem, man. That sounds good. It's all good. You know what I mean? Um, so did who's heard about the article that I posted recently about the body having only 60 elements? Anybody check that out? I did it last week on the talk, and I had it pinned up here. I think there's a way to pin links.
You said so. Say it again. The body has what?
So there is so you know how everybody says the 92 102 mineral story. I found an article where they go into and it's totally unrelated to CMOS, right? It was just about this article went into the study of what elements are in the human body, and so they're basically saying that there's only 60 elements in the human body. And if you give me a second, I will pull up the link from, and I'll post it in the Clubhouse group there. CI Science ABC, so that you guys can pull it up here, and then I'm going to pull it up on Facebook also, and sort of share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, how do you pin a link? There we go. Let's wait to do that, and then I'm gonna put it on here. There it is. So it should be on the stage there. So
Okay.
You see it there?
So what is it really about? So it's saying that we don't have 94 elements in our that we need.
Yeah. So it says the title is "What Elements Are Present in the Human Body," and then in the initial title is the human body consists of 60 different elements, including oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, and 49 other elements in trace quantities. And then it says the human body is an intricate piece of art consisting of multitudes of atoms, about 7 times to the power 10 to the power 27 atoms. So 7 billion atoms. But not all these atoms are the same. Of the 118 known elements, 98 occur naturally, and the human body comprises 60 of these naturally occurring elements. And then it puts a link there to the source where they got this information for the other. So basically what they're saying is that there's only 118 elements, basically, and that's true on the periodic table, and then only 94 of those elements occur naturally. The other ones are things that we synthesize, that we put this part, atom to get them, this element together, and this element combines and makes another element, right? And so they're basically broken down into 3 groups. There's the main elements, secondary elements, and trace elements. Now, the good thing is most of these elements they talk about, CMOS is high in, especially in the main elements. Nitrogen and carbon, they're very high in that. But it basically says the body is 65% oxygen, 18.5% nitrogen, carbon, 9.5 hydrogen, 3% nitrogen, and the rest is secondary and trace minerals.
So do you believe? So do you believe? All right. So another question. So I know I was reading on why do we even need minerals in the first place? And I was reading something, I forgot where I got it from, but it was saying how we need minerals in order to absorb vitamins, right? So with people having a natural, mineral deficiency because of what we eat and, poor eating habits and etc., do you feel like taking CMOS, just incorporating into your life on a daily basis can help help you with a big turnaround, in general, just give you a whole switch if you start eating right, not keeping the same habits, but at least changing your habits?
I don't know. That's up for a lot of debate. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not. It's hard to say because I know what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of these articles where they say, "Oh, you can't heal while you're trying to damage at the same time." Right? Is that what you're kind of saying? Is that
Right,
yeah?
right.
And in theory, I agree with that. I mean, but here's the thing: it depends on how much damage versus how much healing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm taking something that's doing five, say 2% damage to me, but yet I'm doing something else that is repairing my body by 40%, then you know what I mean? It's not like it's equal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I'm healthy for 5 days of the week and I eat bad for one day of the week, like, I still have those other 5 days. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so to me, it's like any health, any type of thing that you're doing to encourage a better lifestyle is a good thing and is beneficial to your life than you not doing nothing. Like that attitude that you say, well, you shouldn't take Seamoss if you drink Hennessy. Well, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's kind of like you yes, on one hand you're right, but on the other hand, it's like it's better to take Seamoss and drink Hennessy than to just drink Hennessy.
Right.
So to me, it's like, if I'm going to help you, I'd say just take the Seamoss and let's hope that, you know, over time, because people will get to the, like, everybody's journey is different. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of judgment in this health space, and I don't know. I was, you know, I go to church a lot, and to me, like, how we're taught is that you shouldn't be judgmental like that. Like I remember an experience when I was, like, because I work in the church and I run the media department, and so, you know, I'm in charge of the Wi-Fi, and so I could see all the people that are on the Wi-Fi and how much data they're using, and all the people come up to me and ask for the Wi-Fi. So I started freaking out. I was like, to my pastor, I was like, what the hell? Like, these guys are coming to me. Like, why are they coming to me and doing this? They shouldn't be on the Wi-Fi. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi. And I try to come up with this big plan to get these guys off the thing. And he's like, no, leave them. They're here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody, like, you realize that it's wrong. You realize, you know, where you're at on your journey, that this is not right. They're not there yet, but they're going to get there. But they won't get there if we're sitting there judging and pointing the finger, saying, you're not right. Let them get, you know, let them heal themselves. Everybody's different, you know? And so that's how I feel. So to me, you know.
Yeah, I like that. You give a good answer like that. Because you're right. Everybody has their own journey, and, you know, they need to experience that for themselves, because where we're at in our journey, we understand certain things because of what we experienced. You know, it may have been a good experience or a bad experience, but we've learned a lesson at the end of the day. And they didn't end up learning that lesson yet. So you're right. It's good for it. You're right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I should just have you pay you to follow me around and just agree with me. Big up my Seamoss, and, you know. No, but you know, it was a good question, because a lot of people are, and I find a lot of times they're doing it to try and market their product better. They're trying to, you know, hate you into, you know, bully. Well, not bully, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, come on, you know, I don't know. To me, it's like, you should be happy that they're trying. You know,
they're trying, right? Because it's not as easier said than done. Because when it comes to this, like, it wasn't. Like, I wasn't born, you know, like, I want to take Seamoss, you know. So this is something that I just, you know, I decided I wanted to do for myself. It was a decision for myself that I had to make. And at the end, like you said, they got to make that decision themselves, because if they don't, then at least I have the people who, you know, who want that attempt, like, okay, you know, hey, what's Seamoss? You know, ask questions about it, because it's better that you ask questions about it and you know a little bit of it, and not knowing anything at all and just being ignorant of it and just saying, well, I don't like Seamoss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's you're right, man. It's crazy, man. It's just so crazy. I like being around people, you know, like-minded people who are into things that I know that can help. Not just like a couple of people, but a whole nation, you know, a whole like, just everybody in the world. This can help literally anybody and everybody, man. It's just, I'm just so glad to be around people like this. I'm just so happy and grateful. Awesome. But I just seen somebody else come on here. I don't know if he has a question or anything.
Yeah. Hey, Edward, did you have anything you wanted to ask? Or part of the reason why go ahead, Edward.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, I've just started on my Seamoss journey, just starting my own business. And I guess kind of what y'all were alluding to before is just trying to figure out ways to, get more customers and, get the best options for people to try Seamoss, because I think a lot of people are real skeptical, and don't really know much about it. So I just wanted to see what y'all thought about, trying to get more people to try it, or some ideas that you have.
I had tons of ideas, dude. I could talk for hours about how, and the one thing I see, not the one thing, but one of the things I see is that everybody's not really. They're all kind of stuck in the same areas. We're all trying to fight for clients in the same spaces. You know what I mean? Where it's like we really need to kind of start venturing out and figuring out where people are that no one has bothered to go. Do you know what I mean? Like there's still this market is still a new area. You know what I mean? So off the top of my head, pop-up shops, any kind of fitness thing. I would call a fitness place and say, hey, I want to do like a sample day, and just have, do it like Costco, have them come in and just try little Dixie cups of the Seamoss and a spoon or two. You know what I mean? Especially if you have different flavors, you want them to try it all, right? There's the pop-up shops, standing on a street with a sign saying I got Seamoss. One of the ideas that I had that I'm waiting for someone to come back and say, I took your idea, I love it, because I think it's genius, is that, and I'm going to do this myself. In Toronto where I live, they're just getting back to nightclubs, but I'm going to go and get 3 different types of drinks made up, Seamoss drinks. It's going to be one for rehydration, one for like when you're hungover, right? Like a hangover cure, and one for like the bedroom, like an aphrodisiac. And I'm gonna sell those things there. I'm gonna have a big sign that says Seamoss here. You know what I mean? Have maybe 2 or 3 coolers, sell all the Seamoss, but at the same time, so I'm gonna make money selling the drinks, right? But really what I'm there for is to advertise who I am and what I'm doing. Because as they try the drinks and they buy it, you know what I mean? And I'll sell the drinks for like $7 or, something middle of the range, not too high, not too low, enough so that they would just grab it without thinking. Yeah, let me try this. You know what I mean? And so when they try it and they like the drink, I'll talk to them about what the product is, Seamoss, It's more of like an advertising tool, because then they'll come back to get more, or you try to get them to come back to get your gels or to get your raw Seamoss, but you lure them in with the hook is the drink. You know what I mean? And at the very least, if they go and they're not interested in Seamoss, they'll take the drink and like the drink for whatever rehydration bully, bedroom bully, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My because I was thinking about doing a lot of pop-ups, and one of the gyms I go to, they actually do have like different days for vendors where you can come and like sell your products while people are like working out in the gym.
Yeah, gyms especially. Like what you got to really do is sit down and think. Another thing is your circle of influence. Like sit down and think of everybody you know, because at the end of the day, this stuff is, and this goes for like any business. It's a numbers game. The more people you put your face in front of this product, in front of their face, the more likely, more people that are going to buy. And I think the conversion rate is probably like industry is like 3 or 4%. So you got to think for every 100, for every 4 sales, you have to get 100 people to show the product to.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So now sit down and think, where can I go, or what can I do where I can get more people to see this product? And then just brainstorm and make a list. And then, take that list and shorten that list. You know what I mean? To the top 10. Then take that top 10 and get it down to the top 5. Or, you know what I'm saying? You got to do some work.
When you talk about those stats saying that the conversion is about 4%, is that across the board, like gel, raw, all that? Like, what is
that's sort of like an industry standard number for whatchamacallit, typical conversion rates. Like they say, like if your rates are below say 3%, then you have to look at your system and find out what's wrong. There's usually something wrong with what you're doing as to why you're not getting sales. And I've noticed on ours, like if I go into my website and look at what my conversion rate is for all time, it will say something like, well, let me just check to see right now, but I think ours is like 4 or 5%.
Is the conversion rate higher if you're dealing face to face with your people versus the online marketing and stuff?
I don't know, to be honest. I've never, because, well, you know what? Yes, it's higher, because when I was thinking. Yeah, when I meet pretty much anybody that I meet face to face, pretty much anybody that I show the Seamoss to their face, they're buying it. The only people that are reluctant to buy it would be the ones that haven't tried my service and don't know what the Seamoss is. Because year to date, I think our conversion rate is I think it's saying right here, it's 2.87%. But our customer return rate is 21.83%.
Okay. And so that 2%, that's everything together, like email campaigns, anything, ads, all that type of stuff together.
This is basically my sales running off Shopify. So anything that I've run through Shopify, which is pretty much the majority of the sales. Like I don't really do too much outside of Shopify.
Okay.
Well, when it comes to like fitness pop-up shops and stuff like that, so like let's say I'm in Planet Fitness and I have a whole pop-up stand and I have, like you said, Dixie cups full of Seamoss, and I have people trying it and they're asking about it and I'm telling them about it. So do you feel like that, like just being in front of, like you just talked about, just being in front of the people who actually care about their active lifestyle, their health, rather than being in front of people where it's more of a mixture? Like, do you think I should expose myself to just the general market of, like health market? You know what I'm trying to say? Like people who actually care about their health, rather than, being in a place like like a mall where you find like it's like 3 out of 10 where somebody will be actually care about their health and, come up to the stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, should I just market straight to the people who actually care about their health, or kind of like see if anybody's even open-minded to it? Because I would rather be in an environment where I know I'm more likely to get more approaches than somebody, then actually being somewhere where I gotta guess like, well, maybe they're open-minded to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Farmers markets.
I
don't know if you guys have that. I mean, here in California, those go on every weekend, and that appeals to like an organic type of crowd, and it's nothing but like farmers like who've locally produced their stuff or whatever, selling it at these markets. I've seen people post in groups, other markets like in Texas and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly where y'all located at, but that's one of the first things I'm zooming in on as far as like the whole in-person setting up booths and stuff like that. Because one, they're not that expensive to set up at, and two, they seem to be conducive to this industry.
Yep.
Right. I'm located here in South Carolina, and it's not really that many farmers markets. You see a lot of like flea markets, but it's not a lot of farmers markets. And it's actually, to be honest, pretty hard to get fresh fruit unless you're going to like somewhere like Whole Foods or somewhere that, or actually find a farmers market somewhere. It's not really a lot of that going on, because originally I'm from New York, and that's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever been to New York, that's it. You can get fresh fruit just on the corner of Fordham Road. So it's crazy. So down here, it's not really like that. So, but we have a lot of gyms. We have a lot of hotels. They are kind of pretty big on health here, rather than in New York City. But it's more of me finding places like that besides just the gym, because I don't want to just go to a gym every time and just try and just gyms. You know what I mean? I want to kind of open, broaden my, get more eyes in person rather than online. Because online, I feel like I can do it a lot more easier. But in person, you got to kind of grab their attention as well. You can't just go over there, with a just table full of Seamoss and be like, I have Seamoss, and then you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got what you're saying. That's my thing, is because outside of the farmers markets thing, I'm kind of questioning where, like, I didn't think about the gym, even though I've been going to LA Fitness for 30 years, and I see people set up, not selling stuff, but it's mostly like either training service or the gym themselves selling something. So I'm thinking about that too, since you guys brought that up. But I mean, the only other thing that I see popping, and again, it depends where you live, is when they have these like Caribbean festivals and reggae festivals and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That they sell booths for those. You can get booths at those. That's another thing I'm considering. But again, it's all about where you're at, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So Julien, when you started, you know, coming up with St.Lucian Seamoss Company, like what did you do to get most of your exposures? Like, what did you do to get your name out there mostly?
That's a very good question. So first of all, I went in and analyzed the market. So I figured out where most of these people were hanging and stuff like that. I spent probably maybe 50, 60 hours of straight liking people's pages and on Instagram. That's a hidden gem that people don't realize. So here was my dialogue. I mean, now everybody's going to steal it. But what I would do is go under the hashtag Seamoss, and I would just like bomb. That's what I call it, like bomb, because I would just go on every page and hit like. I wouldn't even look at their page to see who it was. I just like. And then what happens is that some of the people are you know, how do you say, not interested in your work, right, or stuff, so they'll just be passive. But if it's a new business or it's someone that's new on the scene and they're just starting out, they're not getting a lot of likes on their page, and so instantly they'll look to see who this person is that's liking their page. Boom, they come right on my Instagram page, and on there I have nothing but like photos of me, the Cmos, what I'm doing. You see the live streams, all that kind of shit, where you're kind of like, okay, who's this guy? And then you get to know me and my personality, and you're like, oh, I like this guy. This guy's cool. I'll fuck with him. And that's how I got it. That was my strategy, basically.
I've heard of that like for a like strategy, being like a
no like for a like. I just like their page.
Well, isn't it a thing too? Like when you like when I mean like for a like, it's like you go around and you like tons and tons of pages and you get likes in return.
Yeah, but I'm not sort of. Yeah. And a lot of times they say that, oh, if you like my page, I like your page. But I'm not like, because then that you're how do you say it? In that sort of strategy, they're trying to get more likes on. I don't care how many people like my page. My goal is not to get you to like my page. Right.
Oh, okay.
My goal is to get you to look at my page, because I know once you look at my page, you're like, oh shit, this guy is fucking serious. You know what I mean? Like, look at all this. And in fact, what's funny is in a lot of the things if you notice, I don't show a lot of Seamoss, right, on my page.
Yeah.
But what I show is a lot of me, and I show St. Lucia. Do you know what I mean? So you instantly realize that this guy is like, you know what I mean? He's in it, because I got pictures of the island. I got pictures of this, but then there's all these interviews. And so you start listening to interviews, and I feel like that's where you're getting the value from me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm giving you all this stuff. You know what I mean? And there's this thing called the law of reciprocation. And when you give, people are almost feeling obligated to return.
How long ago did you start doing the lives, Julien?
Almost from the beginning. IG. On Instagram, almost from the beginning. So, and that's another strategy that I did, right? So I'm like, you see how calm I am and comfortable I am with this live stream. I was never this, like, never was even comfortable going live on camera at all. And so what I did was I started doing the live streams, and at first, in the beginning, I didn't even show my face. I just sat outside and held the camera and talked. And I talked and I talked and I talked. You know what I mean?
Where did you have the camera pointed at?
The sunrise. So originally they were called Sunrises with Julien. St. Lucian Sunrises with Julien. And so,
you know what? I remember seeing some of those on the further back on IG.
Yeah.
I do, now that you said that. Okay.
Yeah. And so it started with that. And then from there, it was the next thing was on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my friend Kenya, he has a company, a Seamoss company called Vegan Electric. And he sells that and like different herbs and stuff. Excuse me. He would join with me and we would have these live like discussions between the two of us. And that's when I started seeing sort of more traction. Before, there was times where I would do like a 2 hour or 1 hour like live stream and no one would come and watch it. Like you might see someone come for a second and they disappear. And so now it's like I don't even worry if anybody's watching, because I have also learned over time that, you know, people would come back to me afterwards and say, oh, I watched that later on and I have a follow-up question about this and that. So to me, it was like, okay, people are watching, right? Which is all that was the point. But it was also done so that I would have content to show that I had content. And that's what a lot of times people misunderstand, is that sometimes you don't need to have good content. You just need to have content to show that you've done something. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like no one expects your first live streams to be amazing. If they are, they are. But I think what people love is to watch the progression and to watch you beat from crap at live streams to get to be good. So I started crap in my opinion, but now I'm a lot better. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's all
crazy.
That's all through practice.
Yeah, and that's what I need to start working on more, is just kind of, you know, just showing myself more and just getting more used to that.
Yep.
Because I think that's also where I've have struggled in too, because I'm kind of a perfectionist. So like I'll sometimes I'll catch myself procrastinating to the point where it'll be like, well, I don't have like, this is not set up, this is not perfect, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have this information, like, or, you know, even if I'm attempting to record it, I'll start like stuttering, because I have content out there. I've made content, you know, and other things, because I used to be a part of a network marketing business, and that's, you know, that's a whole nother story. But, you know, I've got better at it. But when it comes to, you know, doing something new, like Seamoss, like before I was doing it on, you know, income. Now I'm gonna start making content on Cmos. So now that's when my perfectionist kind of kicks in. Like, well, you know, I start having doubts. Like, well, you don't know everything about Cmos. Well, you don't know this, you don't know that. Well, like you just said, it's all about, you know, progression. Where I may not know everything right now or have a lot of experience right now, but if people want to see that story, you know, like from when you going from the beginning all the way to where you're to the point where you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, 100,000 followers on Instagram, you know, just built off Seamoss. And the people who've been with you since, you know, a couple hundred followers, you know, see the progression, and those are the loyal customers, are the people who stay. So
yep.
I understand what you mean by that.
Yep, for sure. And one thing I want to add is don't worry so much about the numbers, because sometimes there are people out there that have 2,000 members on their page, and there's guys that have 10,000 members, and the 2,000 members, the quality is outweighs the 10,000 members. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have 100 engaging people that are buying my stuff than have 5,000 people on my page that have no contact with me whatsoever.
Yeah, I take it out there and be a work in progress, bro. Just get started. You know what I mean? The Seamoss game and the knowledge behind it is so minimal that it's basically a lot of people regurgitating the same stuff. You know what I mean? So you can get out there with something simple and just start increasing your knowledge base through research and go from there.
And Todd, you hit that nail right on the head. And here's the thing. That makes it easy for you to stand out, because all you have to do is that much more than what they did. Like, part of the reason why you guys see me as the way I am is because I've done, like, I put the time, and that would be advice for you that I would say to you too, as a perfectionist. Go and spend some time and really invest and dedicate into learning and understand, like, the Seamoss and the life cycle. Like, there's very few people that can argue with me about Seamoss, and the only reason why is because I spent like 2 months on the internet just googling and reading articles, you know what I mean, to the point where I have like at least 40-50 links of stuff on Seamoss, and I've just gotten that information to the point where it's like even now I'm still researching. That's how I found the elements of life and this idea about the body composition. Do you know what I mean? And that just throws that whole night like 92 102 theory out the window, right? Because there's not even 92 naturally occurring elements, or maybe there is. There's, what would they say, 98? Let me go back up here. They said there's 94 that occur naturally, and the body comprises up to 60. You know what I mean? And so it's through that research that I've learned that stuff. You know what I mean? And now that's
you said 94.
No, so yes, 94.
So some people say 92. Some people. Are we talking about the ones that? Which ones are you referring to?
Okay, so through most of these people that talk about the alkaline diet and they follow what Dr. Sebi has said, he has been on many videos where he has claimed that the body has 102 minerals and that the Seamoss contains 92 of those two, and that if you add bladderwrack, I think that completes the missing 10. But what I noticed for a long time was no one could tell me, or no one could tell anybody what those 92 minerals were, you know, or even what are the 102 minerals.
Mm-hmm.
So then the quest came, okay, well, what are those elements? Because I figured if I can be one of those guys that knows the elements, then I have an upper hand over everybody else who doesn't, right? A lot of times you got to look at any industry and you got to solve the problems. This is a problem, you know what I mean? No one knows what these minerals, and I get asked a lot, right? So if I'm the first guy, well, not the first, I don't care about being the first, but if I'm one of those people that know it, then I have an advantage over those that don't know it. Right, so that's what spawned the search, and then through the search, I was like, right away, I came up with this article where it was like, wait a minute, 94 naturally occurring, and you know what I mean. And even then, they're like saying that some of these elements are like radioactive and toxic to our body. You know?
Yeah. Which most of those trace minerals that you have to have them in a microgram dosage, very little or anything over that to kill you, like copper and some of these other ones. Yeah. That's just what it is.
Yes. There's actually a graph here. I'm going to put it. I mean, you guys won't be able to see it because you're in the clubhouse, but there is a graph that shows that does list the elements found in the human body. It's interesting to see what there is. And I mean, I'm no sort of element expert, so, and they don't label them. They have them just like, you know, HLIBE. It's like, it's been a while since I've been on done any science work. But this stuff is all a Google search. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I found this easily from Google, then, you know what I mean? That just shows how much we need to spend more time, you know, putting some energy into understanding this stuff better.
Yeah. Have you seen any evidence of pools growing sea moss? Not seaweed, but actual sea moss?
No. The only thing that I found is there's a company in Nova Scotia, or maybe it was New Brunswick, and I thought it was Nova Scotia, but there's a company in Canada that is making Condorus crispus in a pool, on land, in tanks, and they're selling it to restaurants, and they've made their own sort of like, I guess, hybrid thing, and because it's all multicolored and stuff. It's pretty interesting. So those are
Nova Scotia. Is that in Canada?
Yeah.
Or is that in UK?
No, it's in Canada.
Okay.
So it's either in Nova Scotia or it's in New Brunswick. I'm trying to look it up now to see if I can find the link, because I was on their site and I remember seeing it, and I was like, um, yeah, like, oh wow, because everybody thinks that the Connor's Crispus is the one that can't be.
Grown in pools, exactly.
Yeah.
They think that guarantees that it's real if it's Conjur's Christmas, because for some reason that's the only one that can't be artificially grown.
Yeah.
I've seen that sentiment too.
Yeah, and that is not quite true, because these guys were showing that they were doing it on their land, and it was they had like their own sort of, it was like their own species that they had developed.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's been really great talking to you guys, but I'm finna go ahead and go home.
Okay, man. Well, thanks for joining us.
It was great meeting you, man. And it was great talking to you. And thank you for all the knowledge and all the information that you've been able to help me with, man. I really appreciate it, because without people who, have the experience with Seamoss, you can't be experienced when it comes to, like, you can do all the research. Like, yeah, research helps a lot, but when it comes to first-hand experience, you really can't beat that, man. So I really want to just tell you thank you, and I appreciate everything.
No problem. My pleasure. And just so you know, I'm going to try and do these live streams every Wednesday and Sunday for as long as I can, unless I got something in life. But I'll start them around 9:30ish, 10ish, and go for like a couple hours. So if you ever not doing anything in the evening, you know what I mean, come and
no, I got you. I'm gonna tune in this Sunday. So at 9, you said around 9:30, 10ish, right?
Yeah. And sometimes I'll have, like, last couple of weeks, I've had another really big Seamoss, Ricky Ray from Ocean or Gold Seamoss, and then another guy, Moss King, and we come and we talk, and even come on live and like talk to us like one up. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool when you have the video and everybody's talking. It's a nice vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I appreciate it, man. You guys have a great night. Everybody have a great night, man.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one, Dre. Oh, yeah, you too.
Yes. So the company is called Arcadium. Excuse me, Arcadium Sea Plants. And I'm gonna go.
ARCADIA. Is that what you said? Arcadian.
No, Arcadian. Sorry, ACADIAN. Arcadian Sea Plants. And ACADIAN.
Okay. All right. Acadian.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's it's called the Acadian
Sea Plants. Sea Plants.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna put up the link in a sec, because they have one where they're showing the picture of the sea moss that they make, and it's pretty wild. Like, it's all different colors and stuff like that. And it looks like they're doing other stuff with it, making pills and stuff like that with it. That's cool. So how do I pin a new thing? Let me check this here. Edit pin link.
Yeah, I'm looking at the site right now.
Yeah, so that's the site there. I'm gonna go on and show these guys here, share my screen with them so that they can see what we're looking at. Booyah. See how the colors is on it? It's like crazy.
I'm trying to get. Oh, did you put up the link? I'm just going around the site trying to find out where the actual chondrus is. Did you put the link to the actual chondrus?
I think so. Let me try and go to the.
Where did you put it on Facebook? Or where'd you put it up at?
I just in this. So in this book here.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Let's Talk About Seamoss in the club there. There's a link there, and so that will have it. Yeah. It shows it. Customers rely on first impressions, and here's the joke, right? Like, people complain about the sea moss and like, oh, it's pool grown. You can tell it's pool grown. Real pool grown sea moss you won't be able to tell that it was pool grown sea moss. They're not like how do I put it? It's like if they're trying to sell a product and they're trying to mask how they made it, they're gonna hide. They're like gonna make it perfect. You know what I mean? Otherwise, why would they go through that trouble to create? You know what I mean? To make a fake product that's substandard.
Yeah, that was my thing. Going back to like when we talked to the cannabis thing. Once you go into making your own environment, you're usually trying to outdo what nature does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says Hana to Samata. I don't know how they made this. It's a multicolored, edible seaweed that draws the eye with a boutique of pink, yellow, and green colors. Each peach of seaweed pops off the plate or package, whetting your customers' appetites. Originally from a strain of Condorus crispus seaweed found in the pristine North Atlantic water, our Hana Tusamata, I don't know if I'm pronouncing, is cultivated on land to help us create a reliable supply for our customers. Our cultivation techniques mimic the favorable nutrient-enriching conditions of the wild while creating the consistency of size, color, and texture our customers value. Low in calories, rich in iron, magnesium, and fiber, gluten-free, certified vegan, kosher, and halal. I always laugh how do you certify it vegan? Like, you know what I mean? Or it's gluten free. Like, what are you talking about? And then it's like, I guess they must have a guy, a priest in there, and a guy doing like a rabbi.
Is that from that link, or did you go into a link inside of that link?
No, I clicked the link, and right on that page, it talks about it. Or maybe, you know what? I'm on a different link now that I looked at it. I'm on the page. It's Arcadian Sea Plants / Hana Tusamanada or whatever that name is for the thing. Let me go onto C Plus where you're at. This is wild harvested seaweeds and the nutrient. So these guys, this might be their wild products.
That's what I'm reading. That what you just said right there.
Yeah.
But what you read spoke specifically to Chandra's Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's. Yeah. But see, they have the picture in here, like.
This multicolored picture that they have.
Yeah.
Looks like a salad, kind of, right?
Yeah, that's the Seamoss that they're growing in the tanks.
Okay. Interesting.
I wonder where I got this from. Basic elements of the human body. Oh, look who's here. What's up, Moss King?
What's up, brother?
Not bad. We're just checking out the Condorus crispus here.
Yeah.
The pool grown.
Yeah, I see.
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got Todd here. He's on Clubhouse.
What's up, brother?
What's up with it, man? Yeah, I caught you and Ricky last time on the Facebook Live. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in here. Super tired. I said, let me chime in. I told my wife, like Julien getting on. She was like, "Oh my God, really?
Again? You guys aren't going to 2 a.m, are you?"
She's like, "You guys be up all night." I mean, it sounds really interesting. Like, he seems really smart. Aren't you tired? Like, yeah, I'm tired, but let me go. It might be some wisdom or knowledge on that I need to catch right quick.
Yeah, Live some
You know,
real stuff. Well, tell her that I'm not really that smart. I just learned. I'm just smart enough to know how to look like I'm smart.
man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
One of a kind sea vegetables.
that's right. It's unique. So yeah, Todd was asking me if I had seen any pool grown operations or anything like that. And
Mm,
to be honest, Todd, like through all my researching online and stuff like that, this is the closest that I've found to someone selling or doing, cultivation of sea moss in indoor settings. You know what I mean? I did meet a guy, this guy Yusuf, and he said that he drives truck, and he said that he's seen it on the coast of California. They had some operation where they were right by the ocean, and they were doing the tanks, but what they were doing was that they were pumping in the seawater into from the sea. Whatchamacallit, into the sea, into the tanks, and then filtering it and then pushing it out. So it wasn't like it was fake seawater. They were using actual seawater to breed it. It was more like they were pumping the water in and putting, circulating it in a contained area and then pushing it out.
Okay.
But I have come across manuals or books that describe the tank method. Like they're like, if it's like a sort of like a sea moss growing manual, and they're like, okay, this is how you do it in the tanks. And another thing they had were ponds where they would just have pump water into these large pond areas and then grow the sea moss in that area through this.
Was it moss or was it seaweed?
Well, seaweed, sea moss, it's the same thing. There's the red algae. They were growing. I think Euchinema in it, and a lot of this was for the industrial stuff in like South Asia and stuff in the Asian countries. Like Philippines is a big producer of sea moss.
The Philippines, yeah, because I see it sold for dirt cheap up out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for super dirt cheap.
Yeah, I'm never buying nothing from none of those places.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mosky?
I said I'm never buying anything from any of those places.
Me neither. Me neither.
I'm just not doing it. I mean, St. Lucia got my heart. I know Jamaica got some good sea moss and Grenada, but I'm stopping right there.
Yeah. Because it's everybody keeps bringing up those same places right there: St. Lucia, Grenada, and Jamaica.
Well, have you guys ever seen the when I like shown like the Seamoss farms and stuff like that, where they like in Asia, where they're showing you like for miles and miles?
Oh nah.
There's nothing but Seamoss. Whatchamacallit?
The lines and everything. The farms.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for the video now to see if I can show it. I actually found one video with Seamoss people in it, and I actually know one of the ladies in the Seamoss.
Let me just give you a.
Let me just put that sound back. I'll share that screen. Sure. See this lady there in the purple?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my friends. I know that lady. I buy Seamoss off her. This is in Prowland. This is like where most of all the Seamoss in St. Lucia comes from.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they have the lines like that. There's like a video from Export St. Lucia. They're talking about the banana industry. Basically, like St. Lucia used to make tons and tons of money from bananas. and now the banana industry is sort of on its, like, it's dying out.
Wow.
Yeah, so this lady here, a friend of mine. Or maybe it's not her. It looks like her. No, this lady. This is my friend. I was gonna say, like, that doesn't totally look like her. I wish I could show you the photos, Todd. Actually, you know what? I should pin up the video so you can see what we're looking at.
No, I'm watching it. I put up the Facebook feed while I got.
Oh, okay, cool.
The clubhouse app. Yeah,
Wicked.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, this lady here. That's my friend.
Okay.
I buy Seamoss from her, and two of her sons. She's been doing Seamoss for a long time. And she told me stories about, like, when they would, like, no one would buy their Seamoss. This guy's the runs the Providence Seamoss Association.
My guy.
Yeah. And this is all here. This is low tide. Yeah.
Water's so clear right there.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful, bro. It's so clear and it's so, like, warm, and it's nice. It's like,
that's a lot of Seamoss out there.
Oh, tons, bro. And, like, they've been telling me that the Seamoss has been giving up a lot just, like, on its own. Like, a lot of people are not even touching their farms and stuff.
It's just what? What'd you say? It's giving up a lot on its own.
Yeah, so meaning that, like, so in that video all around, right, there's, like, Seamoss just, like, growing everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not just, like, say around those sticks, if you walked around, there's Seamoss there. Just floating.
Just on the floor, on the ocean floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so a lot of these guys, they're just going out in their snorkel gear and just picking the stuff off the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Seamoss already look golden.
Yeah. Well, that's the yellow stuff. They'll bleach that more. That's the stuff that they probably wouldn't really make into purple. The more darker stuff will be the what they'll sort of put aside or sort for purple.
Yeah, I gotta make it down there one day.
You bleach it and then dry it. The process takes about a week and sometimes, depending on the weather, it may be a little more or a little less.
When you harvest, you're going to get some money.
Every day I visit the area where the farmers are planting the Seamoss, I see new faces.
Export St. Lucia's initiative, particularly in Seamoss, has been incredibly successful. We've seen a substantial increase in sales, I think, from almost $50,000 to $500,000 in a 7-month period. There's over 200 farmers currently involved in the development, and it has been island-wide.
Way more
so
than
the
that.
initiative not only is making an impact in terms of foreign exchange earnings and helping with our brand position, but most importantly, helping reduce unemployment and generating more wealth in our rural communities. The government of St. Lucia has been incredibly supportive with regards to Export St. Lucia. In fact, Export St. Lucia is fully funded out of the government subvention and clearly plays a critical role.
A lot of this video is talking about how the government's working with organizations and helping
People
build
call
up.
me for, people asked in the beginning for Seamoss. Now they ask for
how they're
St. Lucia
basically
Seamoss, the
helping to
real
create
Seamoss.
more of an
So they
export
have
market
created a new
for
entity, and
CMOS,
they are
which
planning
is
to
good for
use
the
to
industry.
buy
You know what I
from
mean? I
other
think
parts
that
of the world that they tell they'll
as
ask
long
you,
as we
do you
can
have the real
keep
Seamoss? And they say
working
yes.
to
And they say, I
increase the
need St.
quality
Lucia
and have
Seamoss.
some controls
So they need
over
to go to
making sure that people
the
don't produce,
organization for
inferior
what they
CMOS,
actually
it's
did
all
on the
good for
ground.
St. Lucia.
Not only help us with the export process so that we could now do it ourselves. And I thank the organization for this.
And that's that video.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for the photo while I was watching the video. I was looking for the photo of the girl to show you the when I met her and like us hanging out, because one of the things we did, which was pretty cool, was we toasted like the relationship to a drink, and so they brought out this spice rum, and in the spice rum it has like a centipede in it, and so they're asking, getting me to drink it. It was kind of funny, and I was just like, "What? What's in this?" And it was like, "Yeah, it's a centipede." I'm like, "A centipede?" Oh, it was crazy. I had so much good times in there. I can't. Oh. I'm dying to go back.
Julian, did you ever get any more sticks?
I haven't got a new shipment yet. So on the next shipment, I should be getting more sticks. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. I'll be having more Bob and Day sticks. Here, you want to see a funny video? I'll share my screen here. So one time we went to go drive Seamoss, and we were driving home, and the car was packed full of Seamoss. And we saw one of my partner's friends on the side of the road. So he had, it was like traditional, like you don't drive by the guy, you pick him up. But there was barely any room, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'll get in and I'll get under the Seamoss." So this is a video of us in the car, and Buddha is in the back. Or I think that's us in the car. No, he's not in the car yet. So that's us in the car. Look at all the Seamoss that's there. All right. And then I'll show you the next video. I'm so tired of that. And so, where's the video? I think it's this one because I'm laughing at it. Can you wave your hand, Buddha? There's like 400 pounds of Seamoss in that car.
And that's out the water?
Huh?
That's out the water?
No, this is dried Seamoss. We had bought this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we went to a village, and we were driving home late at night, and we bought the Seamoss, and we picked them up on the road. And that's when thing. And so this is the video with the lady. And their son. This is the spice rum. Hang on. As what? A centipede? You guys can hear him talking, right?
Yeah.
Snake in it. What the fuck? That's some hardcore. No, that's like in Mexico. They put a worm. Oh, sorry. No, it's good. I don't know what was speaking. They are speaking. Snake in it. What the fuck? That's some hardcore. You have the caterpillar. You have sitting up there. And then things caterpillar is vegetarian.
You drank it?
In Mexico, they put a worm in the tequila. Yeah. We got wasted on this stuff. What do you mean? Like, look at that. It's all Seamoss in there. They're cleaning the Seamoss there. That's my business partner.
That's the guy that's always in the water with you.
Yeah. He's the boss.
For the food.
Yeah, I'm gonna extend the new. You have an extended family? You need to get an extended family.
Spice rum, St. Lucia spice rum.
St. Lucia spice rum. Spirit of St. Lucia, not bounty, but spice rum.
Yes.
That's the shit.
I love how you come and you do these commercials. That's it.
Yeah. You know, we have Seamoss in there, Seamoss in the spice rum. Yo, tones, get the people, children, pregnant.
Yeah.
That's what we give you. It gives us quick points. And you get your children very active in the spice, a little alcohol in them, so they get very active and they want to go to the, how do you call it? To the overall?
The who?
The overall.
Overall?
The egg, the woman's egg.
Oh, ovaries.
The ovaries.
Yeah.
The ovaries.
I fucking miss this guy. That's my guy. We used to have so much jokes, bro. Like, look at that. So that's us leaving the house, right? It started pouring rain. We're up on this hill. I almost killed myself coming down this thing because it's like a path, like a mud path thing that you had to. And when it rained, it was like it came torrential pour, so all of it was like washed out. And we're trying to carry 50-pound sacks of Seamoss, dried Seamoss down this hill to get to thing. You know, this is actually, I think this is right by Marvin's house. Yeah. So that was the. There's more Seamoss. That's a warehouse. Black Friday sale.
What's up with everybody talking about the purple shortage? Is that real?
Yes and no. So that was lobster. See all that lobster I got there? That cost me $45 Canadian. So probably like $30 US. 35
That's crazy
for all that rock lobster. And it was fresh. Like the guy just went and grabbed it. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, hold on a second. Boom. You know? So yes. It's like this. Depending on who you know, right? You can always get Seamoss. Because there's some people that have been storing their Seamoss forever, right? Or for a long time. And some of them just stock it up, waiting for price. Because the price always, excuse me, the price always fluctuates. So it's always going up and down. And so a lot of them are waiting for the price to go up, right? And the price goes up with the demand. And the demand comes when there's like less Seamoss out there. Now, typically with the Seamoss, now you saw in those pictures how light that Seamoss is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Seamoss doesn't make good purple Seamoss, right? It makes more of a lighter type of Seamoss, and it goes kind of like a pinkish. So in the weather that's coming up now, there's more of that kind of Seamoss and less of the darker, browner type Seamoss that would be used to make the purple. That makes it better purple. Plus, with the drier weather, in the drier season, and the sun comes out hotter, it's harder to make that purple.
Yeah, because of the humidity.
Yeah, so there's going to be less purple out there, right? Yes. But to say there's a big shortage, like even when we saw, when we were talking about that, there was a couple guys that said, oh, I got purple. I know where to get purple. So it's like, if you know the right people, you can get it.
Yeah.
Right? But most people are going to be short, if not out of purple Seamoss. Or you're definitely going to be paying more for the purple in the upcoming months than you were today.
Shit, I need to hold on to my little 40, 50 pounds of that dark purple there.
Yeah, it's hard to make good purple. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, I'll show you a picture of the guy. Like, when I saw this guy's purple, oh my God, I died. And not to say that I hunted him down, but I waited about 2 or 3 days to meet him personally. Because I had met his wife a couple times and they were like telling me, and that's another thing too. Some of these guys just stop making it for whatever reason. Right? And I remember talking to them and then seeing the purple, and I was like, "Oh, this purple's amazing!" And they're like, "Really?" We're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna stop making it." And I was like, "Stop making it?" Like, are you crazy? What do you mean?
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Yeah, my husband, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, let me meet your husband." Like, I can tell this guy, like, "You're nuts! Don't stop making it." And then, here, I'll show you this purple here.
Mm.
Look at that. Like, that's some dark purple, bro.
Yeah, that's what I got. I know I got about 40, 50 pounds. It's really dark, but it's...
A lot of times you'll get the lighter sort of pink and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is near Savins Bay. And so that's another picture of that purple. Look how beautiful that purple is.
Yeah.
And see that there, the darker parts, that's green.
Oh, okay.
And depending on when the green's harvested, it can sometimes even get turned into blue. It'll sometimes turn a blue color. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some nice purple.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a video of my friend Myron, and I think his madam's sister. That's them in the water. So I spent about 2 or 3 days working with him, helping him on his farm here. And he has all these sticks on the area. And that's just me. And you see how they're wearing the shirts and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing that because in the water, there's things like sea lice and stuff, or sea louse. I don't know what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is stuff that's naturally in the water everywhere, right? And Seamoss is a big food source for a lot of different aquatic creatures. Mm-hmm. One of them being the sea lice. And so if you're close in proximity to them, they'll jump off the sea moss and feed off you. Mm. They're wearing the shirts to prevent getting bitten. Like, he's got full clothing on, shirt and pants.
Wow.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you'll get eaten up in there. Because I was there without a shirt on. And the fucking guy never said anything to me, right? So I'm helping him, and I'm like, "Bro, is there something in the water? I feel like I'm getting." He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's the louse." He's like, "Why do you think I'm wearing a shirt?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, you think you could have warned me, like, I'm
ahead of time?"
Yeah, like, what the hell? But whatever. Myron's Myron.
I think that's why some people be talking about boiling.
Beautiful.
Boiling the sea moss.
Oh yeah, because there's all kinds of critters and creatures and stuff like that.
Do you boil yours?
No. But also, I know where my sea moss is coming from. Exactly. Because, and this is not to throw shade on other people's sea moss, but I got to be honest and say that some people are not, like, how do I put it? These guys are doing clean measures, right? They got their net down, they got all this kind of stuff. But there's some other people out there that are not doing the same. And so I guess you just got to make sure that you're buying, that's my daughter there, you're buying from the right sources.
Yeah.
You know, and make sure that they're clean and, they're not buying any animals or anything like that. So that's the green Seamoss, and that's the blue. See how dark it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost like a greenish turquoise color.
Wow.
Yep. And then this is Mullah Sheikh. This is like on the southern end of the island. Beautiful. I miss it here.
Wow.
And all the Seamoss farms are all in the way in the back here, where you see all those waters working.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a nice view. And this is, want to see one of the baddest pizzas on the island? This pizza is so good. So my partner's wife, or madam, whatever you call her, she has a business selling pizzas. So like on, I think Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights, you can go and call her up and she'll make a pizza for you. So like a lot of times after we were done work, we would order a pizza.
Wow.
That's us eating the pizza. And then this is the video. Look how hot it is.
There's some hot pizza.
That pizza got a little bit of everything on it.
Everything. It got the works. But it tastes bomb, bro. Bomb. Like onions, hot dogs, corn, broccoli. Like, oh. Oh. Okay, I gotta stop this. I can't be doing this anymore. Actually, I want to show you one other video. This is crazy. Did you ever hear about this? The guy that threw the Molotov cocktail over the Jesus or whatever?
Nah.
This was literally up the street from my buddy's house. Check this. Watch this. Actually, I got to do it full screen so you get the full effect. You can see that full screen, right?
Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
And that singing, that's them, the church singing in the background. Like he did it during Sunday service.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this was his like video that he gave before he did it.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Vision, new generation. Yama Gideon. Lava, burn Jesus. Lava, burn Lucifer. Lava, burn the devil. Lava, burn Satan. Judgment.
Crazy, eh?
And then he went to go do that.
And then, yeah, and then this is them.
They're calling him already.
He went inside the church?
Yeah, he went and tried the church and tried to throw a Molotov cocktail in the church. I know I shouldn't be laughing, right? But I'm laughing because it's just so crazy. Like it's just like I can't believe that happened. And then right away they made these memes. This one's kind of funny.
I never seen that one.
And so everywhere across the island, people would be like shouting out of their cars, "Lava! Lava!" Like, holy shit. Here's a funny picture of me. So tired from fucking work. We'd just gotten back from the farm, and I was waiting for him to like put out a plate, and I fell asleep.
Being in that water drain you though.
Oh, bro, it does. Like totally drains you. Like, look at me. But I was so hungry. Watch me. I see the food.
Woke up to eat, huh?
Yeah. But that was so good. I don't even remember what it. That's got breadfruit in it, the fish.
That's what you know, I'm like out of it. Yeah, that water weigh you down, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna one day. I got to get all the videos from my partner, but he's got literally a collection of videos of me sleeping all over the place because I was like, who says that? It doesn't look like that's our Seamoss. Is there someone watching the?
That's something Nigel Charles or something.
Oh, that's Ashen. Is he there? Is he washing?
No, that was earlier.
Oh no!
I don't know if they still on though.
He's got to be still
on. So Julie, so you don't think the boiling the Seamoss is a bad thing?
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, I have no proof, but my like everybody in St. Lucia boils it, as far as I know.
I said I was gonna try boil a little bit just to see.
I actually wonder if boiling it is actually better because it like will activate it. Do you know what I mean?
What you mean activate it?
Like the heat, because when you heat it up, it turns into more gel. You know, and it will thicken the gel. You know. So I don't know. I know definitely when you heat it, it lasts longer.
Really?
Yeah. Because when you heat it, my dad can leave it on the counter for like a day, and nothing goes wrong with it.
That's probably because you killing any other organisms that's in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said I was just gonna try it, like maybe just with like an ounce or two, and just see, you know. Because I don't even know the process, how to boil it, really.
Everybody has it differently, but from what I saw my dad doing it, it's like they soak it, they clean it, then they boil it, right? And as it's heating, and then they take like a strainer, and they push the Seamoss through the strainer into the water, and that's how they kind of like. You don't use a blender. That's how they blend it. Because as the heat comes in, the Seamoss becomes soft and moist.
Yeah. I heard clean it, soak it, let the water boil, then drop the Seamoss in, and then for like a few minutes, and then put that hot water and hydrated Seamoss in a blender and then blend it.
You could try it like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. You know?
Yeah. But the only reason I was thinking was, you know, some people be like, oh, it's going to kill the minerals. It's going to kill the nutrients.
Well, I think, you know, let's do some research and see, like, how does heat affect minerals?
I seen something the other day where it said minerals, they sink. They don't like float up in the air, you know, like in the steam, like if you boiling something. They said that, you know, everything sinks. Minerals sink. So everything will be right there in that water, you know, with the Seamoss when they turn into gel in the hot water.
Yeah. So it says here, How are minerals affected by heat? It is relatively unaffected by heat, light, oxygen, acids, or alkaloids. Because minerals such as iron and zinc are heat stable, cooking temperatures do not appear to reduce the quality or availability of minerals in meat. Can minerals be broken down in heat? Once minerals enter the body, they remain there until excreted. They cannot be changed into anything else. Minerals cannot be destroyed by heat, air, acid, or mixing. Compared to other nutrients such as protein, carbohydrates, and fats, such proteins and minerals are present in food in 20 quantities. I guess that would be another question: is do minerals, not minerals, like does the heat affect proteins and stuff like that? Because a lot of the stuff that you're getting out of the food of the CMOS is like used in the proteins and stuff like that, right? But let's look at this PDF that I just found. I'm gonna pull it up and share the screen here. So you can see that, eh? What are vitamins and minerals? So let me just make sure. So vitamins are organic nutrients that are essential for life. Our bodies need vitamins to function. We cannot produce most vitamins ourselves, at least not in significant quantities to meet our needs. Therefore, they have to be obtained through the food. A mineral is an element that originates in Earth and always retains its chemical identity. Minerals occur as inorganic crystalline salts. Once minerals enter the body, they remain there until excreted. They cannot be changed. It's used such as proteins and because we can still only. So, of the known vitamins, 4 are fat soluble. That means that fat or oil must be consumed for the vitamins to be absorbed in the body. That's A, D, E, and K. The others are water soluble. These are vitamin C, the B complex, niacin, folic acid, botanic, pantothenic acid, and chlorine. Well, you know what? I'm going to read more about this because it says there are over 24 minerals that are used by the body in various roles. So I'll show you what the various roles are of the different minerals that are in the body. And I bet you there's not 92. I think what I'm going to do is post this up on the Facebook group to share with people so they can see it. Because it looks like there's quite a bit to read out of it. But it goes into the different vitamins and nutrients in the body. But I think the short answer is no. I don't think the heat will destroy it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. So I think it should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And maybe the heat will release more carrageenan and stuff like that. Or the agar.
You mean release it and get rid of it?
No, release it as in like make it, I guess, like more abundant. Because I noticed when you add heat, it becomes more thicker.
Yeah, but you can change the consistency of gel with just by adding water to it, or you know what I mean?
That is true.
I mean, if you don't want your gel to be really super thick.
I've been meaning to kind of do some tests where I measure the exact, like, how much water I put in, how much, you know what I mean? Like so I have a proper ratio to see what the, like, how, like, almost like how far can you stretch the gel before you notice that it's not the same.
You can stretch it pretty far. I freestyle it, and you can stretch it pretty far. Like what I notice is like, and I use a Vitamix, but like once as long as I can see bubbles in the center of it, it's like I eyeball it. I move that picture around a little bit, and I can just tell the consistency that's right. Where it's still gonna gel up. But I like it right kind of in the middle, like not too thick, but definitely not too thin.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So I'm looking at this one. I stopped here at this one vitamin because I know this one before. Because when I was younger, and I was into like I used to be really overweight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember doing research on chromium picolinate. That's what I was taking, and I was using it to increase my metabolism. Because when I was thinking about how do I lose weight, the thing I realized was that in order for me to lose weight, my metabolism, the rate at which I am burning these fats, needs to increase. So I did a lot of studying on how to increase my rate of fat burning, and one of the things that I came down was this chromium. And so chromium is it's an essential mineral that participates in the metabolism of glucose and fats. So basically helps control your insulin and burn like sugar.
Mm.
And so I wonder if this is like if the Seamoss has high levels of chromium as a trace mineral, and you're consuming that, that could be one of the reasons why your metabolism gets adjusted. You know what I mean? Like they kind of like how you lose weight by taking it. It could be that it starts messing with your your metabolism. But yeah, I'm gonna post that later. I think that's a pretty cool booklet.
Yeah. What time is it?
So who's making Bob one day?
That's Rick.
Oh, nice. He should come in and I was just thinking about it. I was gonna ask him. I was like, oh, Ricky didn't come by today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just noticed his message, but I can't tell how long ago he posted that.
2 minutes ago.
Oh, well, tell Ricky to make his appearance.
Yeah, man.
Before I get out of here, I'm holding on just for Rick.
I want to try and message my partner and see if I can get him to come back here. I was disappointed. It was funny because he said that doesn't look like our Seamoss, and I was like, oh, who is that? Like saying that. Let's see if he answers. I'm calling him, bug him. And then I'm going to put the link there to invite Ricky. He's not answering. It's late there, too. It's like they're like an hour ahead, so it's got to be like 12:40, and like these guys get up. Like the average St. Lucian gets up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, like when I was there, I never slept past 6:30. Every day I was up at 5:30. And it's like, it's nice to get up at that. And it's like, and when you get up, there's so much energy in the morning because everything is just like awakening. And so you like, if you watch the live streams that I do in the sunrises with Julien, you'll literally see how I come out and like it's all kind of dark and gloomy, and then all of a sudden the sun comes up and the birds come up and the heat, and then you see all these animals flying around and stuff like that. It's really cool. Yeah.
Man.
Hanging on by a thread there.
Yeah. It just been this past month and then this past week, with all the other nonsense that been going on.
There he is. So how'd you do on Black Friday? Did you do anything for Black Friday? Hey, what's up, Rick?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, Rick?
Chilling. There. How's the Bob One Day going? You look smiles.
Okay, so let me tell you, the last one I did when we was on it last time.
Right.
I made it too thick.
Like, how you do that?
Okay, so if you add too much Seamoss to it, like I thought I was gonna be adding, like I added powder. I thought it wasn't going to thicken up, but it still thickened up. It didn't matter, but I think I added too much powder and added too much agave together that actually thickened it up. And I didn't put in soursop last time, so I'm trying to figure out if soursop is the reason why it kind of maintains a certain smoothness to it. So I'm gonna figure it out.
But
this is my next go around.
Do you need any of that other stuff or no? That's just what you putting in there.
Yeah, this is what I just been putting in. Like I'm really just trying to find a way to keep it as thin as possible, because what happens is like there's a certain, like you'll run into a certain, like a fine point where it's perfect or it's too thick, and you have to get right at that point, because if you go under the point, it's not as good. It don't taste as good. And so it's like, yeah, it's okay. But if you get it right to where it's supposed to be, it's like, that's it. And so I've only been able to get it like that one time. So I'm trying to go back to it and duplicate it. And just like you were saying earlier, like I never write down what the measurements or anything like that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put in this. Now I just had to write everything down. So I just wrote everything down. That's why it took me a while to get back to the phone. I was writing everything down. Like, okay, I'm putting this in this time. Man, I'm gonna make this work.
No, I believe you, man.
But the experimentation process is beautiful. It don't matter. Every time I experiment on it, it's not a bad outcome.
Don't take too much experiments then, or we'll see you on the news. Man, they did it the hospital. Wood won't go down.
I keep on sipping.
Man, I just said I'm gonna throw them things in a nice bottle of rum or scotch or whiskey.
Man, what did you guys see? Did you guys see the video that I posted earlier with the rum, the spice rum?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, maybe I'll pull it up in a second. But they had a centipede in it, Ricky. It had a centipede in it, and it had Bob One Day and all kinds of stuff. And then my partner showing the video with the Seamoss, and he's just like, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a second family in St. Lucia. You take this as dangerous.
Yeah, like I don't even know, because I still got my bottle. I don't even know what I want to do with it. I'm about to put some more rum in it. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually take half of it out. I'm about to double up on it. So I'm about to take half this out and then put some more rum in it, and then take the other one and put some more rum in that one, and then do it again. And keep on doing the exact same thing over and over again. I'm about to
stretch this. You got in that bottle?
I don't even, because this was sent to me like this, so it's a whole bunch. It's like okay, so I'm about to, like, the stuff I sent you is one of those. It looks like it's one of those. It might have 8 to 10 sticks in it. That's potent.
Yeah,
I put 2 or 3 sticks in what I do now, and that's potent. So I know this is on a whole nother level of activation.
I wouldn't put 8 sticks in no one bottle though.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now, and it looks like it has about 8 sticks in there. It looks like it has some calcan in it, and it also looks like it has some sarsaparilla in it. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything in this bottle, man. I'm kind of scared of it. That's why I just keep on looking at it. I go to it, I shake it up, I look at it. Like I opened it one time and smelt it and close it.
Just like
You gotta
you got a Woody just smelling it.
You gotta
Boy,
get the
man. I like this thing is like, you know, it's like one of you things that when your homeboys come over for Christmas, you're like, hey, y'all, hey, I got something for you.
Yeah.
and send them home messed up.
Yeah, and then the wife calls the next day and says, "Look, whatever you gave that guy, don't give it to him again."
Yeah.
Yo,
you
No,
gotta
I
get them
actually,
little
to be
droppers.
truthful with you, I actually want to give it to women more than I want to give to men.
No,
You gotta get you one of them little droppers, Rick, and use that on that rum bottle. Just take some out with the dropper.
That just a quick.
Yeah.
Man, that's but that probably is the best route to go about. Just put in droppers and turn it into a tincture.
That's what I was going to say. That bottle you got probably is a tincture now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that thing
Yeah,
is
for
potent.
Yeah.
I really like. I'm trying to figure out how long I'm gonna keep it up in there, because I feel like I'm gonna keep it up in there for like a long ass time. Because this is the funny thing is that I don't drink, so I'll drink a Guinness. Like I'll drink a Guinness, but guess what I drink Guinness with? I drink Guinness with Boy Bondi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll mix them both together, and so that's the only time I drink, and that probably will be up in the cabinet forever in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at it every day, and I might take a sip every now. Just when I need that extra.
You know what I mean? When you're all retired and you know.
Yeah, that I might crack that by like a couple years from now.
That's it.
One of those situations.
Yeah, before you take that blue pill, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Hey man, bye. I'm going to get in the bed, man.
Man, I'm about to finish this Boy Monday, but yeah, y'all have a good night, man. I'm about to finish up this situation.
Look, let's all purpose to have some energy for Sunday. I'm down for Sunday, but man,
when they be tearing you up, huh?
Man, this week and the mental nonsense and everything else,
bro. I don't even want to, bro. We don't even have to go there.
Yeah, we not. You know what
I'm drained, like, bro. I'm drained.
I'm tired, man.
I'm seriously drained from the mental stimulants that's been happening in the last week or so.
Exactly.
Like, I'm drained.
So I'm going to lay down with my wife, man. She already sleep. I'm gonna get up, knock this Thursday out. But I'm definitely gonna be on. I'll be ready on Sunday, man. But
well, let's pick some topics to talk about on Sunday when we get there.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we really need to talk about?
Well, I know what I want to talk about with y'all two and get y'all wisdom on is this pricing, how to set your prices and keep them there. And the reason I say that is because what I noticed, like maybe like 3 or 4 people reached out to me today, right? There's one sister in particular. So she was like, "Oh, I would like to know what your prices are." I shot the low prices, and I know they low. And then she was like, I asked her something after that, and she was like, "Oh, those prices too high for my budget." I said, "Well, don't say that just yet." I was like, "What is it that you're trying to get?" She never responded back, right? So what I notice is happening is that people are sitting around and they waiting. They just going from person to person, and they're waiting to see just how low you're going to go. Mm-hmm. And they already got in their mind like what that number is. You know what I'm saying? So as a business owner that's trying to build something, like I want to talk about that. Like I want to talk about what you all went through from the beginning. And
that's a real touchy subject right there, because what it is that there's gonna be a lot of people mad at what we about to say, and truthfully, there's a lot of like, okay, so that is typically what ends up happening with everybody. So now, okay, so we're both in the United States. You're in Canada. It's harder for us than what people imagine, because what it is that we're competing with people in the States and Canada, but we're also competing with suppliers that have 1,000 pounds, that have 2,000 pounds, and it's hard to tell somebody 5 pounds when they can talk to a supplier that's going to tell them that they can get it for $10 to $15, and then you say that you have it for 25. But they just don't understand why you actually have it at that, and what's the difference in as far as getting it from you than getting it from a supplier that's already over there. Nobody wants to talk about shipping, because what happens is that you don't want to make your suppliers mad, because if you break down the shipping and why it's better to do it in the States, and all the suppliers are going to get mad at you for outing how they're making their money right now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're going to be on the bad end of the stick saying, hey, you guys, maybe you shouldn't be going over there if you're only getting a certain amount, because you're going to end up at the end of the day, you're going to end up paying $30 to $45 in shipping, and it's going to come up to about the same price that you would get it for in the States. However, if you do that, then the supplier that actually was probably trying to sell it to them, now you have an issue with that person. And then that's when it becomes a major situation. So we'll
work something out.
It's a touchy situation. I always say that's a touchy subject right there.
We still got to talk about it though.
Let's talk about that in depth.
But to going as Ricky says, and we'll continue the more talk on Sunday. I had a client of mine who got some free Seamoss in a contest, and when it all added up and she got it into thing, it ended up costing her more money and more work than if she had just bought the Seamoss from me at the, you know what I mean, at the price that I'm charging their local. She was like, you would have delivered it right to my door with a smile. You know what I mean? But instead I had to go to the airport, I had to pick this up, I had to rent a vehicle, I had to do this, like they're not factoring all the cost involved. You know what I mean?
That's not. And so it's kind of like once you start factoring the cost, I always tell people, you know what, and anybody that I actually deal with, I pretty much say, I want you to go through the experience. And then once you get done going through the experience, let me know how that was. And it would have been better to just come through me instead of going through what you went through. Because a lot of times, like, your money's not secure. And that's what people actually really, really have an issue with, is that you don't have secure money, because a lot of people that are on the islands don't have websites that you can actually just go in. Not to mention not a Shopify or something of that nature where it's really secure, and that's where it starts to end up, where you're in these different countries and sending money that's unsecure, and now everybody's on edge.
It's some of that stuff that y'all talk about sometimes, as far as like scaling your business. Like a lot of people don't know what that means, and so they're looking at the price on the front end, right? So if somebody's saying, oh, I got it for $15 a pound or $12 a pound, that's all they see. They don't see nothing else that they're going to ultimately end up spending. And then what that bottom line price is going to end up being per pound. So that's something else that, well, it's all the same conversation, but like you said, a lot of people not going to want to really hear the actual reality, because it may be smarter to go through Julien or go through you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And Rick, you offering free shipment across the United States. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to know how to scale what you.
Because at a certain point, like I pretty much say, what else can I do? Like, what else can I do? Like at a certain point, I'm just pretty much giving it to you because I'm trying to compete, and that's what I stopped doing. Like I said, okay, let me just go ahead and find other ways, because even when it comes to wholesaling Seamoss now, it's kind of like there's no structure, then there's no wholesaling. It's pretty much you got suppliers and you got people that buy Seamoss. Like, there's no wholesaling, no someone saying, hey, I can give you a discount on 5 to 25 pounds. They're gonna go to the suppliers, and Hey,
and those are
like,
a lot of them people probably jail people. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. And
they're
so
probably jail people.
what they'll end up running into is that all right, so they'll start to form these good relationships with these suppliers, and they'll get 5 to 10 pounds, and then guess what happens? COVID hits again. They shut everything down. Now you've been going to these same suppliers, and now they can't give you the Cmos because everything's shut down. So now you're scrambling going to somebody else, but you want that same price. Be honest with you, I be wanting to jack it up on. Truthfully, like I get mad. Like, okay, so you coming back to me after the fact? Like you done did me a certain way, but after the fact, you want to come back to me because you in a messed up position. Like, I feel a certain way about that. I'm like, okay, well, like you don't know everything. Like I'll be telling people, like you don't know everything I did. Like I gave it to you for a price that's unreasonable.
But
to get you started.
But you can't always look at it like that, because people that's not moving on you and Julien level, it sounds like a finesse, right? Like if you hearing, oh, I give it to you for this amount per pound, right? And then you and Julien, or even myself, if we come and say, oh, all right, $45 a pound or $50 a pound, whatever, right? Then they like, hold up, you trying to get over, because they don't understand the whole business part aspect of it. It's not the scale.
Hey, let me actually explain what I actually do now. I send you a middleman, because you don't believe me. But if I send you a middleman, then you believe them, because they're gonna jack the price up for you, and they may talk to you a little bit more. I send you a middleman. Oh, okay. I'll actually send you somebody I sell Seamoss to. Hey, you want to go holler at this person? They looking for Seamoss, and it'd be the exact same Seamoss, packaged the exact same way. They'll give it a different price. They'll jack it up $15 to $20, and guess what? The person will buy it from you. And that's why I'm like, okay, do I not look trustworthy? Like I'm trying, like, did you not just do all this? And then what happens is, after about a good month or so, they realize that they're getting the exact same Seamoss, and they realize who their people are going through, but now you locked in.
Yeah.
And that's like, I send you a middleman. That's bad. And I tried it out to figure out if that would work. And it did. Like I actually have a middleman that I don't talk about who he is, but I send them to everybody. Like, so if you hit me up and everything, then it's almost like on Facebook, you know how they target people?
Right.
I have them say, hey man, do ads for this person, and now the ads start targeting, and guess what? They buy from him.
Yeah.
But he's actually online, he's giving up all the information, like really he does the guru situation. So he's like, hey, well, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta eat this way, you gotta eat this way, and then they buy it from him. But so I always say they buy it from him because he's giving them the information.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you the information. I'm just giving you Seamoss for cheap. I'm telling you, you gotta get your own information.
Yeah, and they don't want that. They want to be spoon fed, and so they'll pay more, because then they see that Seamoss has more value, because they're like, oh, this guy knows everything about Seamoss, and meanwhile you know everything about Seamoss.
So meanwhile, what I end up doing, okay, so I put batteries in people. I have conversations so you can go out and so you can go give out the information.
Yeah.
So like, cause I don't want to get online and be like, hey, this is this and this, and so I'm like, so I'll have conversations. They'll come in, I'm like, okay, this, and then I'll go online the next day or 2 days later, and I see all the information I just gave them in a video. I'd be like, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
I just say, when I say he's killing, like that's my biggest. Like I'd be waiting for him to place an order, because his orders be huge. He was like, hey man, let me get 1,000 of these 2 ounces. Like that's the reason why I came out with 2 ounce pouches, because he asked for 1,000 of them. I was like, 1,000 of them? He's like, yeah, I need 1,000 of these things. I'm like, oh, really?
It's a lot of work, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting these pouches together.
Yeah, like, so I end up, and that's what happened, is because the Seamoss came so cheap, I ended up having to do fulfillment. I'm like, oh, I'm about to package up all your stuff for you, and that's what I got paid for. We got paid just to package it up. Like, it wasn't like a big extra part of money that we were getting. It was just, okay, well, I have to sell this Seamoss, so I have to figure out some way. So now we packaging up everybody's Seamoss.
You do that too, right, Julien?
Yeah, no, I'm packing. Well, I'm not doing it right now, but yeah, this is one company we pack for, and then this is another one that I pack for. These guys are on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, Julien, let me ask you a question because I just seen that.
I'll just show you my like.
Oh, see, yep. You said you look just like me right now. So do you get your pouches wrapped, or do you just put a label? Like you put a label on it? Because I actually I have a guy that I use on Fiverr, and he's excellent, and he just sent me some mock-ups of it wrapped, and I was like, that looks like, when I say wrapped, okay, so you have your pouches, and you know how you can just stick a sticker label on it,
yeah,
or you can have it laminated all around,
yeah.
like it's. So, have you, like, I can't find a company that makes bags big enough and laminates that's actually affordable.
So I don't know if these are and first of all, I have no idea. Like, these packaging, they sent me the packaging. So what it looks like is that these are like flat printed plastic pouches.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's laminated on there, so it's really, the pouch is, yeah, like that's actually exactly what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, this is like, it's like printed right on it.
Exactly.
Like, I guess that's the area that's not printed, and then they put the two sides and melt them together. And then it's the same for these guys. All right.
Okay.
These guys they're getting it from China, as far as I know. These guys here, they're doing.
And that's another thing I want, because I'll talk about we can talk about the China situation on Sunday, because I looked at Amazon, and then I started breaking down Amazon. I'm like, oh, this is a whole China situation.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell by the bottles and how much you selling it for, that dang, this is China. Like, and I'm talking about the capsules. Like, I'm looking at the capsules, and then this is my biggest thing about the capsules. I told somebody this the other day. I was like, everybody has Conjures Crispus capsules and powder, but it's brown.
Where are they getting the Conjures Crispus powder from?
Well, when does Conjures Crispus powder become brown?
Right.
It's purple in hue. Okay, so I
guess it's brown when it's old and it's dusty.
Yeah, so like I have freeze dried multi powder.
Yeah.
And it's pink.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that the Conjures Crispus powder, because I've only seen one person that said they had Conjures Crispus powder and it be pink. I'm guessing it should be like a pink or darkish hue than a brown. It shouldn't be brown because it has purple in it.
But not all of it. Sometimes it's like tan. It's like tan and purple. Like Mom's Organic, they sell like a Conjures powder in a little pouch, and it's like, it's tan. It's like a dark tan that what's exactly in the pouch. I mean, I trust their integrity as a business. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying as well. That's the only thing I don't like about capsules. It's like people can put anything in the capsule and tell you it's anything. And unless you was right there, you know what I'm saying, you don't know what it is.
That's my main thing for not taking capsules, is that I just don't know what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Man, and you know what? That's what I'm starting to realize, is that, like, that's the biggest thing about selling capsules, is that you have to give the breakdown. Like, I want to show people my whole entire process.
You should.
Like, hey, this is the process that I go through.
But see, you got more to stand on with people trusting you, just based on just your overall business presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that, like, I don't know, like, just random.
Like you go to Amazon. When you go to Amazon, I'm looking like there's only a couple people I trust on Amazon, and the only reason why I trust them is because I know them.
Yeah.
Like, I know that company. As soon as I say, "Oh, I know that company," they're okay, but everybody else, I'm looking like China. I don't know. Okay, so this is another thing that now I started to look at it, and this is why I want a lot of people that have St. Lucia Seamoss to start selling capsules and start having St. Lucia Seamoss capsules, is because all that Seamoss that is all says Conjur's Christmas or Irish moss coming from someplace else, but it's not coming from St. Lucia. Which I think is St. Lucia has the best Seamoss. So why wouldn't we actually,
bro?
Like I don't understand how some people sell St. Lucia raw Seamoss, but then go get Conjur's Christmas powder.
No idea.
But I understand that they go through a company and they don't have no other choice. I understand that part. But and again, you do have a choice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you do have a choice. You do have a choice to say, you know what, I'm not gonna go this route. I got a little bit more integrity. I'd rather stick with what I know. These people just tell me this is where it's coming from. They don't show me no pictures. They don't show me the process. They just tell me that, hey, this is coming from here. And because they're a big corporation, you believe them.
Mm-hmm. Not me.
But big corporation been lying to us for years.
Yeah, not me.
They're built off of lying. They're built
Some
off
of those guys don't even know themselves where they're getting it because they're getting it from someone else. You know,
that's mostly they're really just going off of what big corporation told them.
Yeah,
like we're getting like this, and you like, and then that's what you regurgitate. Yeah, I got it from this, and this, and man, we know where that Seamoss is coming from them companies. I know, like it's way too cheap. Like I didn't price my Seamoss, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm like, how can you do bulk capsules for $6.99? Like that is cheap.
Yeah.
Like there's no. I don't even see how you can sell that.
Mm-hmm. You're cutting the corners somewhere.
Yeah, because you gotta understand the labeling and the bottling and everything is gonna cost you $1.50. Yeah. Maybe almost $2 if that, depending on what type of labeling and packaging you have. Like you can run into $1 to $1.50 just off of label and packaging. So now you're trying to say that the capsules is $5. You're going to $5, and you gotta pay for the capsules. You gotta pay for the capsules.
They ain't put nothing in them. It's probably just filler. It's just something to put in the capsule.
Yeah, that's another thing people have to start doing. Really, really, really reading these labels. And really, like when they see that it has Seamoss black and burdock root, they be putting some like black pepper in it.
Yeah, you just
like no, I be seeing I see that a lot of times, and I'm guessing okay, this is a filler. So, I be trying to figure out like okay, so how y'all selling so and then okay, so this is the funny thing is like they all go through the same, like all the major capsule people that I see go through the same company.
Yeah.
And you can start looking at their packaging and telling that they go through the same company. I'm like, okay.
Man, y'all, this is what I'm talking about. See.
Yeah, I'll go on and on. I got the boy Vondae still here.
I'm steeping it
right now.
I wanna pull out my pen and my notebook. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm gonna do on Sunday.
I'm gonna say the rest for Sunday because I'll just talk your heads off tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta start taking but see, it's all good stuff though, man. You know, like if you really serious about learning this business, you gotta sit front and center for this. And that's another part of it too. I'm like, damn, like it's all these damn members in this group, you know what I'm saying? And then we do stuff like this, and it's
2,000 of them are bots. They're all herpes.
Okay, what about the other 4,000 though?
No, I'm gonna tell you what it is that they're on here just to sell. They're not on here for the information.
But that's only gonna last but so long though, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want longevity, you gotta sit in front of the dudes that have the longevity. You know what I'm saying? And then been through the highs. That's why I get on here, man. I'm tired of shit. I'm tired of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I got up out the bed from with my wife to come and sit down on this platform. You know what I'm saying? I don't my face on the screen. I ain't doing this shit for Hollywood value. You know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing to be able to sit down and talk to y'all and just hear the things that y'all talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? Because how's you gonna build longevity for yourself, man? Like this, the shit that matters. These little bit of sales, and it's even if it's 2,000 bots, it's 4,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody getting that many sales. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody. Because guess what? If they were, they probably would be trying to sit up on here like y'all. You know what I'm saying?
But this is going to be the difference between, like, to me, like, you have the passion for it. That's what's going to cause you to live in this industry long, and you're watching the market and you're feeling how it goes. Like a lot of people don't realize. I don't know about Ricky, but for me, part of the reason why I'm doing this is to help set the standards and help increase
Yes.
of the industry. The more people that are listening and seeing what we're doing, the more people that are going to try and challenge us and to kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like we're the baseline now. Now you got to beat us in order to kind of be there, right?
Exactly.
But
Like I really want
Sorry.
exactly set a standard. Like I really want to set a standard. Say, hey, you got this is what you can do. Now that you know what you can do, let's see what you can do after that.
That's how we elevate it. Yes.
And that's just something else we didn't talk about, like having those standards for your business and the benefit that comes behind having those standards and holding on to them, right? Because I went from my man in Philly to Rick to, you know, down in St. Lucia, right? Mm-hmm. And it was times where I was like, man, we're going some bullshit because he ain't responding to this question or he ain't moving like this, how I'm thinking. And this is me still early in the game, right? And I'm still early in the game, but earlier in the game. And I'm like, I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know as much shit as I think I know. But now I can sit here and be like, okay, like this why this. You know what I'm saying? And this why that. You know what I'm saying? And even some of the shit that I might still not like because, you know, we selfish like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We want what we want. And you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I am rational thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm logical thinking. And, you know, I sit back and I observe shit and, you know, I'm just continuing to just learn a lot, man. Learn a lot. So that's why, like, now I'm sitting and I'm asking the questions that I'm asking now because I'm like, yeah, it's time for you to move to the next level. But what does that next level need to look like before you actually make it? You know what I'm saying? Instead of you just jumping out there thinking you know what to do next. Soak up some of this game, you know what I'm saying, and see what they willing to drop on you. You know what I'm saying? And then you pull all that together and you move on to the next phase of how you gonna carry your business.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is that even because, you know, there's some people that drop some game on me, like I may not understand it when they're saying it, but months later, then you start to go through it, you be like, oh, this is what you were talking about. Like, you like some things I was green to when I first started. I was like, oh, what you, huh? They're like, hey, you gotta watch out for this, you know, you can't. And I'm like, you know, just thinking, hey, I'm about to pay my own path. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on.
It's like your kids do.
Like, because I believe I study a lot. So me being a studier, me being somebody that like I probably done put in hours and hours before you even know that I'm interested. Mm-hmm. So I've studied, so I'm looking like, nah, I done studied this whole thing. Like I know what's going on. And then you get through that situation and it's like, yep, that's exactly what you're talking about.
You have to study. Like earlier, I asked Julien a question, and he was like, well, I mean, shit, let's research it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just started researching it, right? Yeah. But I'm saying the jewel in that, it reinforced something that he talk about all the time in terms of like how he governs himself. He like, man, I'm gonna go look for the information because I know a lot of people ain't gonna go look for the information. And just like you said, Rick, you like a lot of people just want to sell. They just want $1. You know what I'm saying? But like Julien was saying earlier, how do you set yourself apart from everybody else? Having information, being able to talk to a person about your product, you know what I'm saying, and make them feel comfortable, you know, spending their money with you because they feel like, you know, you have wisdom about what you're doing. You're not just telling them, well, yeah, I got this and this how much it costs. You know what I'm saying? And like that's supposed, because a lot of people can say, oh, I got Seamoss and this how much it costs, but what else are you adding to that? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the main things I'm pulling away from the short time I was on here tonight. Like, and that's why I say I'm gonna bring my pen or my pencil with a big eraser on it and my pad, because I need to start writing this stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Like what y'all doing, y'all could be charging for this. You know what I'm saying? And y'all giving this shit up for free. And you know that, you know, go back to what I'm saying. Like all these people, man, they could be in here, even if they ain't on this camera, but just sitting here and really soaking this up. And but I take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, that's why I say, like last time. Okay, so every time I've been on live with Julien, because the only time I get on live is with Julien, to be honest with you. So every time I've gone live with Julien, so the first time, matter of fact, because the same girl that was on that live, like I'm still, like I still see her on Instagram. So like if you reach one person, like I'm always that person that I say, you know what, I'm here for. I might be here for 500 people, but I might just be here for one person. One person will kind of catch what I'm saying. And when I was early in the game, I was like, yeah, I need 500. I need 500. I need 500 people. I need 500. I need really. I just need I need that one person every day that I connect with. That's it. Like I go through the whole entire day just hoping to find that one person I connect with and have a half an hour to an hour conversation with. And that actually makes my day. I don't care if they spend $10. I don't care if they spend $500. It was that connection that I got. So that connection right there, and this is what I always say, that connection right there, even if they spend $10, that's $1,000 deal. Because like we connect, and I believe that they'll buy Seamoss from me, and as long as I have it.
Yeah.
And I guess I had to train myself to start thinking like that, because I was thinking, hey, I need 500 customers. I need to sell. I'm like, you know what? I don't care about 500 customers. I just need that one good customer today. That one good person that needs me just like I need them.
But and that's true.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Julien.
Well, I was gonna say, but what's crazy is that one day that $10 customer will call you up one day and say, "Hey, Ricky, send me 5,000 pounds," and you're like,
"That's
what?" Like,
no. What happens is that they start having these. They start telling the stories, and and that's really what happens. Yeah, I ran to this guy, really nice guy, and he's sat on the phone with me for a half an hour to an hour explaining the Seamoss and things of that nature. And then when they say it, now there's somebody that's on the side that's kind of just ear hustling and getting all the information. They're like, okay, well, shoot, I got a store over here. Let me go call this person. You know what I'm saying? Then they'll ask for, hey, so what's that person's name? And that's happened tons of times.
Yep.
Like I'll give one example. I actually have these guys, they sell milk, and I shout them out all the time. Astronaut. I love that company. So like they'll be selling their milk at vending spots. And anytime somebody comes up to them, hey, so you got Seamoss? Yeah. Hey, here's Rick. And they always, and I get so many customers just from them, because they'll tell them, hey, well, Rick actually gave us product to sample and make sure that it went into it. I'm like, I see that you guys are going to be a major brand, so why wouldn't I give you a product to go ahead and test it out before you actually have to spend money on it? And so they'll tell people that, and I get so many customers just from those little small interactions like that. I love that. I like that, but that's my customer service in me. Like I love to sit here and talk to people, and that's why they tell me to go to the back, so I don't. They like, man, Rick, go to the back, man. You talk too much.
You're just jamming it up. But those people are what I call evangelists, right? They go out and spread your gospel. They go and spread and I think every company needs it. If you ever get a chance to read a book, you got to read. I don't know the name, but there's a Guy Kawasaki. I'll look up the name of the book from before. He used to work at Apple, and he was hired as Apple's evangelist. And his only job was to spread the gospel and the image of Apple. And he was in the early days of when Apple became popular and stuff. He was that guy that would go out and he would just do things to help people out or whatever to just get people excited about Apple. And so in the book, he talks about him being an evangelist and why it's important to have these evangelists go out and basically
that was probably a key situation for Apple. Now that I'm starting to think about it, that was one of them flashes that I just got. I'm like, oh, evangelist? Just somebody that just goes out and just talks about it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
That's what you call influencers now, but like I guess that's what you call it. But let's just be honest with you. I don't really like influencers because I don't think I want natural influencers. I want people that take my product and say, hey, look here, I love your product. I want to sell it. I want to get it out there. Most time people get influencers and they don't even know what your product is. They just looking to get a dollar out of it, and it just don't come across right. Like I'd say I have one influencer, and she don't even know she's an influencer. She don't even know she's an influencer. But if I go to my social media, she looks like my influencer. I just like, hey, what type of Seamoss you need this week? She's like, oh, well, I'll take some soap. I'll send her some soap. And then she'll do like 5 posts for me. Have you tried this out yet? I'm like, this is perfect.
That's exactly. I'm trying to look up the book that he, the guy.
You're never gonna get off this live, man.
Man.
Hey, man, you'll never get off the live. You said that you were leaving at 11:45.
Hey, I know, man.
You said you'd get off live at 11:45. It takes at least 45 minutes to get off the phone with me.
Man, I gotta go lay down, man.
I'm gonna let y'all go too because I gotta get this boy Bondi off this
Sunday, man. We got some stuff to talk about on Sunday.
Yeah, hey. I'm gonna pull up some stuff from that book. So the book from Guy Kawasaki is called The Macintosh Way. And we'll talk about, because he was their chief evangelist and he was the head of marketing. So maybe that's something that we could discuss on the topic on Sunday is about marketing and just like human behavior and that to the pricing and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then I should end it too because I don't want to talk by myself. 1, 2, I started here at 9:30 and my family's probably like, where is this guy? And
that's how it goes.
Well, shout out Brian because he popped in. He the one that put up the
muscle 100.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna reach out to Brian and let's see if we can get to
get him on.
Yeah, and just before you guys go, because I think maybe you guys can help me do this in the future. You talked about how we were giving this way I don't plan to really do this. I lied. Let me rephrase this. I've had this idea of preparing like a course, right, or some kind of master plan. I think I told you about it, Moss King. And I would charge money, but I want to take the money and I want to use it to donate it to do some kind of work in St. Lucia to help people out because I don't really need the money.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If we could come and talk and even have you guys come in as speakers once in a while to host like a mastermind group, we'll get like 20 guys or 20 people to, you know what I mean, pay some kind of fee, Yeah, I've told you about it, Rick. I haven't.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So,
all right. Well, look.
Let's talk about it on Sunday. We're gonna really gonna break it down. I know that's what you're about to say. Let's talk about it on Sunday.
Man, I would definitely see y'all on Sunday, man. But in the meantime,
man, y'all have an excellent night, man.
Yeah, y'all too, man. And we'll speak soon.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right, back.
Yeah.
Seamoss out. Awesome. Those guys, I love those guys. great live. And yes, we're going to end it now. So make sure you guys tune in on Sunday. Excuse me. It's probably going to be in the evenings around 9:30 or so. I'll put an event notice in the different groups and stuff like that. But come join in. If you want to be on the show, message me, but definitely bring your questions and everything. We're going to talk about marketing, evangelism, pricing, and different techniques on scaling. It's going to be a really good show. And thanks so much for tonight, listening, watching us. It was a great time. Love you guys. Take care. Oh, don't forget to take your Seamoss.